Right, I'm here at the I'm here at the City Chambers in Edinburgh. I've never been here, I don't think. But look who's here. How's it going, folks? Hope you're well. Welcome to Edinburgh, Scotland. I've been thinking a lot recently about a lot of different things related to the work that I do, social media, and Scotland. And when you join those two together, right? I think the more that I do talks, the more that I study Scottish business and realise my history of Scottish business, the more that I understand that Scotland is in fact very conservative. Now I know what you guys are going to be thinking, right? This is politics, votes recently, all that kind of shit. But I promise you this vlog has nothing to do with politics, really. It has more to do with the social makeup of Scotland and as who we are as a nation in Scotland, right? I think Scotland has been particularly slow when it comes to the uptake of social media and implementing it into business. If you look back into the history of Scottish entrepreneurs and businessmen, we have such a strong head of financiers around the world. That even transpires into the modern day. A lot of the big wealthy families in America, for example, are Scottish immigrants, went to America and made their fortunes. You don't need to look any further than the current president, for example. Scotland is a nation of canny investors. We are cautious, we are defensive, we are conservative, and that is how businesses operate. And if you look at all the biggest names of Scottish business today, they're all in that exact same boat. They are cautious, slow moving, they don't do new things. And it's unfortunate, right? Because there's such a great opportunity in the new modern world of digital, social media in particular, for everybody. Another thing, our news here in Scotland is very conservative, old, traditional, you know what I mean. Not long ago, I finished work at one of Scotland's biggest companies. I'm not going to say the name, but there's 2 or 3 candidates that could be, just from what I just said. The degree to which they are slow to adapt to social media is quite staggering. And it's also not good for Scotland. Brand Scotland. I think we are in real danger now of being left behind. Now that company, if you look at the American competitors of those companies are doing amazing, awesome things on social media. And it's the same, our Scottish companies cannot do the same to catch up. And it's not that they can't do it, it's because they are owned and run by a very conservative, old school way of thinking. And that side is not willing to adapt and change. Those guys are the kind of hangover from Scotland's economic powerhouse of the past. Scotland, and Edinburgh in particular, when I say Scotland, Edinburgh in particular was built on financial services. Of course, if you look way back in time, we had our very own Adam Smith, who basically theorised the current economic financial system in the world. And in fact, a lot of the first investment funds in the world were all based here in Edinburgh. We have been doing them for hundreds of years. But I think that is a conservative side of Scotland. Fortunately, I see a new side emerging. I have done a number of conferences and events recently with young Scottish digital entrepreneurs and Scottish social media talent as well. This group of people, this new generation, we are lit up with passion about what we do. Old school business in Scotland, which is very powerful, has a lot of money, is conservative, right? But if you look back in history, you've always had this financial side of traditional conservative Scotland, and on this side you have got the genius thinkers of Scotland who invented things. In Scotland, we invented everything. We invented so many important products that went on to change the world. And these inventors, they were radicals of their time. They were forward thinking, they were entrepreneurial, and they just had this mindset of trying new things and trying new ways to do things. And then if you look at Robbie Burns, he was a creative, he was a writer, a poet, and he expressed himself to the world through his words. If Robbie Burns was in the modern day Scotland, he would be a social media influencer. He is very much on our side and wanting to take the country in a forward-facing global direction. The trip that I just did to America inspired me in so many different ways. And it's just a place where I felt with the right attitude, with a work hard attitude, with a positive mindset, you could literally do what you want in America and be who you want to be. I think America is the type of place where you can thrive if you've got that never give up, forward-thinking entrepreneurial spirit. And that's what I really took from America, that passion, that drive. Everybody has it. You can just feel the energy on the streets. And I came home from America feeling energized. And I cannot wait to translate that into a Scottish perspective. And you know what? The old school of Scotland, the old business hats, the financiers, the investors, they're a dying breed. And if they don't change their ideas into a new forward way of thinking and come together and work with the other side of the creative thinkers, the new age Robbie Burns, they're going to die out. But I think we now need to be known as a new age, radical, spirited country. And I think it's going to be the modern day Rabbie Burns of this world who are driving change on digital and social media who are going to make that happen for Scotland. And I know I'm going to be a part of that. I want to be a part of it and I'm ready to drive things forward. And by the way, I have done a lot of talks recently that I'm going to be putting upline on my channel about social media and what I think about Scotland's future as a new age digital media entrepreneurial country. There's one thing I want to talk about which actually leads on nicely from the discussion that we just had. A lot of people ask me on the vlogs what it is I do for a living, how do I make money? I actually own a couple of businesses. One of those businesses is in Brazil where I spend a lot of time, as a lot of you guys know. But I've just launched a new business which I want to tell you guys a little bit more about and start talking about more about in general in these vlogs. Well, I'm up here with the dogs in the woods going for a wee walk. I thought I'd tell you. Listen. Right, so as I have been saying, Scottish companies in particular, and actually this is a UK-wide thing. I think they've been slow off the mark to activate social media to its full potential for what it could do for them. So in the back of that feeling and my knowledge that I have in social media, I decided to launch my own social media agency and it's called New Brave Media. That is the logo right there. You will find out all the information about it at newbravemedia.com. I want to use my experience and knowledge of social media to help other companies to do it better, manage it, help them to create content, do training sessions, everything to do with social media. So my newbravemedia.com website actually goes on a lot about that and kind of gives a bit more added value and actually helps people as well through a blog. I'm going to write a lot of blog posts about the social media stuff that I know. It's also on Twitter as well, so if you're on Twitter, go to @newbravemedia and you'll find it there. So that is my new business. That's what I've started up, that's what I've launched. I actually help a lot of companies already as it is with social media, but it's been in a very informal capacity. So New Brave Media is a way of me formalising that process. I know I can help a lot of people out, a lot of companies out with their social media. It is the future, guys. I cannot even stress this high enough. That is the current state of the internet as we know it. Business is going to be taking place on social media. It is going to be the new norm, and I don't think a lot of people are prepared for that, especially here in conservative Scotland, as I just discussed. That was the kind of point of that whole rant I just went on, Scotland being conservative, was to tell you guys that actually there is a solution to that, and it is the new young generation of social media thinkers, and that's what I'm all about. So go and check it out, newbravemedia.com. But now I need to get going. I need to go and get ready for the US Embassy, US Consul General. 4th of July 2017. It's actually the 3rd of July and I'm here for another Independence Day, US Independence Day party. Just like a US roadshow at the moment, one after the other, right? It's amazing, having so much fun. 4th of July party in London was very extravagant, very, very extravagant. As you might have saw from the vlog, tonight's affair, we need to kind of tone down our expectations. It's not going to be like that, just because it's going to be smaller. It's going to be great, lovely and stuff, but it's going to be a lot less people there. I'm here at the City Chambers in Edinburgh. I've never been here, I don't think. But look who's here, Mr. John Loughton. Hiya. Again, coming to the vlog.
Guess
Legend.
Who's back?
Guess who's back? Back again. Edinburgh City Chambers, and this is the US Embassy's 4th of July party. Independence Day, right?
Independence.
Let's do it, we're going in.
Your last name?
Oh well.
Hello, how are you?
Looking very smart.
You too, nice.
Take yourself to the program and attend.
I don't know what my name's America Rocks.
Their programs.
Oh, take one of these.
Get the hat on.
Wait.
Take a selfie.
Yes.
Hashtag.
We've got hats, I don't know if we're going to wear them, but yes.
Stick it on, come on, why not?
Going together with the hats on.
USA!
USA. Got a programme. It's noisy through there. Let's do it. Oh wow.
Consul, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening to Edinburgh City Chambers. I'm very pleased to be here with you for the annual marking of this historic event and to have the opportunity to celebrate the contributions that the American Consulate and American citizens make to Scotland's capital city.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us. My name is Susan Wilson, and I am the US Consul, the Principal Officer for the United States Consulate General here in Edinburgh. And the very first thing that I want to do is start by wishing everyone a very happy 4th of July tomorrow. And of course, it would not be a 4th of July without the Star Spangled Banner. We have a treat for you. When we think of technology and innovation in the United States, we immediately pictured NASA, an organization that all Americans take great pride in. For nearly 60 years, NASA has been at the center of our nation's inquisitive mind, exploring frontiers we never thought possible, thanks to world-class technological developments. So I'm thrilled to introduce, all the way from across the Atlantic on his American smartphone, Dr. Douglas Terrier, Acting NASA Chief Technologist. Dr. Terrier.
Good evening. I'm Douglas Terrier, Chief Technologist at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This FaceTime link we're using today is an example of the fantastic technological progress we're making in space that benefits life on Earth. The signal from my cell phone has been relayed through a series of microwave links across North America, up to a satellite in geosynchronous orbit, back down to Scotland, through another series of microwave links to you tonight. Among Scotland's many renowned scientists and innovators, we have one in particular to thank for this remarkable technological feat. Alexander Graham Bell, the father of telecommunications, whose 170th birthday we're celebrating today. Bell is among hundreds of famous Scots that have made world-changing contributions to science and engineering. A few of the other famous ones include James Watt, who invented the steam engine, Alexander Fleming, who gave us antibiotics, James Clerk Maxwell, who developed the theory of electromagnetism, and James Gregory, who developed the first reflecting telescope, the basic principles of which are enabling NASA's great observatories in space today. For more than half a century, NASA has built on the legacy of great inventors such as these in an unbroken line of firsts in space exploration. We have reached the moon and looked beyond it to our fellow planets. But the best view of all is back towards the good Earth and the essential brotherhood of all the men upon it. Tomorrow, together, where can we not go? Thank you for the opportunity of sharing part of this night with you. Please enjoy the rest of this evening's celebration. Good night, farewell, and have a happy 4th of July. Thank you.